All right, we're recording. Hey, everybody. I'm home. I wasn't supposed to be home today. I was supposed to be working. I was shooting a show that got shut down temporarily because of this pandemic we're all going through together. I know a lot of you guys are in the same boat, working from home or, living in a certain amount of isolation, quarantine, etc., which I'm not a doctor, but seems like the right thing to do. It's disorienting all of a sudden just being kind of just at home, not going out to work, not going out to do other things, not complaining at all. I'm very grateful, very, very grateful. I'm not sick. No one in my family is sick. And anybody out there who is sick or caring for a loved one is sick, I'm sending all the love and positivity and comfort that I can. And it's a scary moment. It's so, I think what's scariest to me is just the uncertainty of it. All film and TV is down, and people aren't going to work at restaurants. People aren't, kids aren't going to schools. I don't need to tell you what the news is. But it's just really hard to know, well, if that much changed in the last 7 days, what's going to happen with the next 7 days? And it's easy to start to feel really scared and uncertain and anxious. And what I wanted to actually talk about, the reason I wanted to start recording this video, was a way to maybe cope with some of those feelings and a way to maybe make some good use of a little extra time at home. And that's doing something creative, making art. It's my favorite thing to do. And I feel like now's a really good time to do it. And if there is a silver lining to this cloudy moment we're living in, maybe it's that we can spend some time with fewer distractions and do some of the things that we'd all like to be doing more, like being creative, whether you like to make music or write or act or make movies. And even if you don't consider yourself an artist, if you're like, well, I always wanted to this, that, or the other thing, well, now you got the time. And so I have some time. I have some extra time. And so I thought starting today, I'd make a commitment to do something creative every day, 5 days a week.
I want to get to hit record
while I'm here at home in quarantine and COVID-19 is out there doing its thing and I'm trying to avoid it. And I thought if I make that commitment, maybe it could inspire some of you to do the same, even if you don't do it every day. Or do it every day, because you got the fucking time and you're home. And I'm gonna make a little video like this every day talking about what I did that day. However, here's the twist, I'm not gonna do it alone. As you might know, if you know me, I like making art together with other people. Collaboration is really, to me, so much of where the joy comes from. And also, if you know me, you might know that I started a community all about this called HITRECORD.
I want to get to hit record.
That's what HITRECORD is. It's about being creative together with other people. So I'm not just going to be posting stuff that I make by myself and posting it on Instagram or whatever and saying hey everybody, give me likes. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's lots of great art that goes on where that's exactly what's happening. But what I'm going to do is do it on HITRECORD. I'm going to be collaborating with people every day on different things, different projects, some small projects, some big projects. I'll probably start a few projects and lead them myself, but I also want to contribute to lots of other people's projects that they've started and that they're leading. So with all that said, let's make some shit together. Let's do some creative things. Let's commit to doing it every day. I think it's going to be good for us. And I know it's going to be good for me. So with that introduction, I'll jump into it. Last night, I contributed to a project. It was on HITRECORD, started by a guy named Endangerhood, and his project is called Life in the Time of Corona. Appropriate. There's all sorts of different things people are contributing to this project right now. It's sort of just a brainstorm project. People are throwing in writing, and they're talking on camera, they're talking to microphones about how they're feeling, just their experiences, they're taking photos. It's a really kind of beautiful just collection of different people's thoughts and feelings and memories and experiences going through this weird moment. But I found a piece of writing that I really liked. It's called And I Feel Fine. And it was written by a woman named All Things Rain. And so I took her writing and I did a recording of it. When I finally got my diagnosis, obsessive compulsive disorder with comorbid generalized anxiety and depression, I also felt a sense of relief. I'd finally met the little liar in my head and gotten to know his tricks. No, I wasn't going to get sick and die if I ate that piece of sushi. No, I probably didn't leave the front door unlocked and I don't need to check. No, my friends didn't secretly hate me. And no, the world probably wasn't coming to an end. If you don't know Hit Record that well, this is kind of what happens on Hit Record. You find someone's thing and you remix it, build on top of it, do something with it. And who knows, that could turn into something more, could turn into a short film, could turn into a podcast. To me, voice acting is one of the most satisfying creative things. It's not as demanding as acting on camera. You don't need to set up the camera and look right and have the right set, and you can just like kind of talk into the microphone, and reading out loud is just I love it. And by the way, if you're interested in acting, reading out loud I think is probably the best thing you can do to practice your skills as an actor. Just read shit out loud. Don't even worry about, I mean, yes, acting on camera, that's all important too, but the hardest skill, I think, and the thing that like really jumps out when you see a great actor is like, oh man, they really have command of their words. They can really take words off a page that a writer wrote and make them feel natural as they deliver them. And so reading out loud is just the best way to practice if what you're interested in doing is acting. And voice acting is, like I said, it's just a really easy way to do it. So if you're looking to do some voice acting, one thing you could do is look through the all the different writing contributions in this same project, in the Life in the Time of Corona project. There's lots of different pieces of writing. Find one that you like and do what I did, just record yourself doing a reading of it. You'll stoke out whoever wrote it. Trust me, if you've ever contributed a piece of writing and then you get to hear someone else read it out loud, it's fascinating. It's so much more interesting than someone else like writing a comment or saying like, hey, nice writing. You get to hear someone read it out loud. You get to learn so much about how they feel about what you've written, what they choose to emphasize and not, what really like gets them going. And you know that your writing inspired someone else to be creative. This is that kind of, that human connection I'm talking about, like when people are getting creative together. So I encourage you, find someone else's writing, record it, and you can contribute it to the voice acting challenge. Or if you don't want to read someone else's writing, if you want to just do some voice acting, like even simpler, just kind of off the top of your head, talk about how you're feeling, record that. Tell your story, just talk about how you're feeling right now, contribute that. There's lots of other creative things you can do in the Life in the Time of Corona project. Record a video talking about how you're feeling today, given all that is happening with the coronavirus. Share a video of an activity you're doing today with your family or loved ones during the time of the coronavirus. Make a video talking about the ways you've been preparing for the coronavirus. Send a message of hope to others around the world during this difficult time. All that I think is really good, and you'll feel good doing it. There's a photography one. Take a photo of what you're doing today to stay hopeful in your part of the world during these difficult times. Write about how you're feeling today, given all that's happening with the coronavirus. Or even simply just post a photo that shows the beauty of where you are in the world during this time of the coronavirus, and write down where you're from. Endangerhood, I think, wants to take all these different contributions and put them together into some kind of short documentary. I think it's a really cool idea. And I'll highlight one other project if you're feeling even a little more artistically ambitious. There's a thing going on in the community called Cinepoems. This is not coronavirus related. This is just if you feel like doing art. Cinepoems are it's a cool little format for short films that people have been doing, where they take a piece of poetry or writing. Sometimes it's like poetic, like it rhymes, and sometimes it's just a piece of writing. And someone narrates it back to the voice acting, and then edits together lots of different pieces of video and puts together sort of a montage with the narration, and they make these beautiful little cinepoems. Quite Convincing, a guy on the site, Quite Convincing, started a project called Abstract Narrator for Cinepoems. And if you're feeling like doing some voice acting, having nothing to do with coronavirus, it's really cool. He found 7 different pieces of writing. And if you open up that project, you can just pick one and read the script right there and hit record if you download our app, and record right there. It makes it really, really easy. So if you feel like doing some acting, find one of those scripts and do it. And those are all scripts that could eventually become cool cinepoems. For extra inspiration, I'll play you an example of a cinepoem. This is one that we actually made last year. 29 different people contributed to it. It's called Open Roads. I'll just play you a piece of it.
Time takes on less meaning on road trips. I can't tell you how long it takes to drive from my childhood home to Christmas at Grandma's. But I can tell you that the Batman building means we'll need gas soon. And that great Chinese place means we're halfway there. And once you cross the huge bridge, Dad won't stop anymore because he says we're practically there.
That was Open Roads. And if you want to see the whole thing, again, you can, if you download our app, you can see it in the watch section in the screening room, or you can find it on our site.
I want to get to hit record.
That was a long video probably to get started. I'm gonna probably not do these so long every day, but I wanted to kind of, I don't know, explain what I'm doing here. And I'm gonna do this while we're all quarantined, while we're all working from home. I'm gonna call it Hit Record From Home. And that's it for today. See you tomorrow. Thanks again.